This is CBN NewsWatch.
Thanks for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Mark Martin. Police in Austin, Texas say the man behind a string of bombing attacks is dead after an early morning confrontation with police. 2 people are dead and 5 injured after multiple bombs exploded this month. Heather Sells has the update.
Austin police say that the bombing suspect is dead after an officer-involved shooting north of Austin. The suspect killed himself with one of his bombs just before authorities closed in.
As members of the Austin Police Department SWAT team approached the vehicle, the suspect detonated a bomb inside the vehicle. Authorities
were still withholding the suspect's name as the day began, but did identify him as a 24-year-old white male. His motive, they said in an early morning press conference, was unknown. So how did they find him? The Austin American-Statesman says investigators used a security video from a FedEx store in Austin where they believe the suspect shipped an explosive device. Store receipts also helped, as did cell phone technology, which traced him to a local hotel. The city of Austin has been on edge for weeks since the first blast on March 2nd.
People are scared. You would be too. You know, random packages showing up, explosives going off, people dying for no reason.
4 bombs have exploded in Austin, killing 2 men and injuring 5 other people. The 2 men were killed by packages left on doorsteps. Then last weekend, 2 other men were injured by a device set off by a tripwire. The randomness of the attacks creating confusion and fear.
When we went for a walk yesterday, instead of me pushing her forward, I kind of pulled her behind me because if I'm going to set it off, I'd rather it hit me than hit my baby.
Just yesterday, another bomb exploded, this one inside a package on a conveyor belt at a FedEx shipping center southwest of Austin. Thankfully, only 1 minor injury. The concern now that there may be other bombs out there. Austin police have received more than 1,200 calls about suspicious packages. Heather Sells, CBN News.
And here's a look at some of the other headlines we're following in the CBN newsroom. President Trump says he will soon meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin. The president called Putin to congratulate him on his re-election. He said they will meet in the future to discuss what he called the arms race, Ukraine, Syria, and North Korea. They did not discuss Russia's alleged meddling in the 2016 election, nor the country's suspected involvement in poisoning a former spy in Britain. A federal judge has blocked a Mississippi pro-life bill just 1 day after the governor signed it. The judge issued a temporary restraining order Tuesday. It essentially stops the law from taking effect for 10 days. The court will consider taking further action. The new law bans abortions after 15 weeks. Overnight heavy snow in the Midwest, and there's more where that came from. A spring nor'easter is expected to target the Northeast Wednesday. New Jersey and Maryland may see more than a foot of snow. This is the 4th major storm in 3 weeks. And you can find these and other stories at cbnnews.com. A Maryland community shaken. New details have been uncovered this morning about the 17-year-old student who shot 2 others at Great Mills High School. CBN's national security correspondent Eric Rosales has more on a possible motive and the heroic efforts of a school resource officer.
The chaos began shortly before 8 o'clock Tuesday morning. Police say that a male student armed with a gun walked on to the Great Mills High School campus. Into a crowded hallway, opened fire. He ended up hitting a female student and a male student. It was then a resource officer came to their aid, opened fire, and ended it.
You have to wonder what on earth is going on in these people's heads that they think that if I'm upset, it's okay to go kill people.
This mother says she couldn't believe the text from her son stating what was happening.
The things that are happening now are tragic, but it's all because of sin. You know, God certainly is not doing this to us. It is completely the sinful man.
She and others are thankful for school resource officer Deputy Blaine Gaskell, who quickly ran inside the building and exchanged gunfire with the shooter.
Going out into an area where there was a shooting and risking your life to save someone else's, that's hero to me.
When they put us on lockdown, we all basically had to be quiet so nothing else will happen. That's when the police started going to every classroom and make sure nobody else had a weapon.
Police say the shooter, identified as Austin Wyatt Rowlands, may have had a prior relationship with one of the victims, 16-year-old Jalen Willie. She remains hospitalized with life-threatening injuries. The other student, a 14-year-old boy, is in stable condition.
This is something that we train, practice, and in a reality we hope would never come to fruition. It is our worst nightmare.
If you don't think this can't happen at your school, you are sadly mistaken.
This incident comes ahead of a national march which will be held this Saturday as the results of the Parkland shooting in Florida last month. Eric Rosales, CBN News, Maryland.
From adding shelters to arming teachers, communities are exploring ways to protect students from another school shooting. One sheriff's department has taken matters into their own hands with a futuristic training tool. Amber Strong has this story, and we want to warn you that this story shows simulated violence, and for some, that might be difficult to watch.
The adrenaline is pumping.
Where's he at? Where's he at?
The guns are real.
Drop the gun!
But this isn't the latest school shooting.
I got officer down, officer down.
It's an active shooter simulator at the Stafford County Sheriff's Department in Virginia. While Washington grapples with the aftermath of the latest school shooting, local police departments have taken matters into their own hands.
So let's talk about action versus reaction.
13-year veteran First Sergeant Joe Bice helps lead the training.
The guy has a gun. Could you identify him from inside? Because that's the same guy that was in the theater.
Dispatch, we got one ran outside. One ran outside. I thought when the one person inside the theater ran out, I thought he was wearing a white shirt.
Once inside the simulator, officers like Deputy Dominic Torres
let me see your hands!
Face 100 different scenarios with numerous outcomes. Sometimes it's a school.
Dispatch, I'm in the library.
Other times a movie theater.
Make sure you give him commands.
Let me see your hands! Let me see your hands!
Surrounded by sounds and pictures, a vibrating floor, and real guns filled with CO2.
We don't have unlimited bullets in real life. If they shoot 18 rounds, if they try to shoot it anymore, they'll just hear a click.
It's as close to the real thing as it gets.
It's intense. You know, so 2 times in a row I did it, and my blood's still pumping. I'm starting to sweat a little bit, and you know, it's good training. Drop the gun!
That emotion is good. Bice hopes the program prepares officers for the worst.
I've seen people shot before. It's intense, and then you know, add in children. You know, that's a lot of extra stress on the deputy or the officer that's involved that they're going to have to deal with.
He also hopes it teaches them how to make tough decisions, like when to avoid lethal force.
Stop! Get on your belly!
They eventually want civilians to give it a try. So I did. Although nothing compares to real-life experience, Bice says he feels better knowing his deputies are arriving to the scene with this kind of preparation.
Dispatch, I got shots fired. Shots fired.
And the cost to taxpayers? Not a cent, as this was all covered by money seized from illegal drug operations. Amber Strong, CBN News in Stafford County, Virginia.
The Sheriff's Department told CBN News they are opening up the facility to officers in surrounding counties and school resource officers as well. Budget negotiators in Washington agree on big spending items, but remain hung up on fixing a tax glitch on grain sales, how much to spend on the border wall, and a tunnel under the Hudson River. Republicans want to fix an error in the recent tax bill that subsidizes grain sales to cooperatives at the expense of for-profit companies. In exchange, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer demands tax subsidies to build low-income housing. Negotiators continue to discuss how much money should go towards building a border wall. Meanwhile, the president has privately threatened to veto the whole spending bill if lawmakers make a $900 million payment on the Gateway River project, that is a rail tunnel under the Hudson River that Republicans in New York and New Jersey support. If lawmakers don't pass a spending bill or stopgap measure by Friday, the government will grind to a halt. Coming up, the secret that makes Israel's intelligence the best in the world. Go behind the scenes of Israel's controversial targeted kills and see how the nation has fought extermination after this. Boko Haram militants have set free the Nigerian schoolgirls after abducting them from their village a month ago. A witness said the fighters told residents they had returned the girls, quote, out of pity, but warned them, don't ever put your daughters in school again. Boko Haram translates as Western education is forbidden in the local Hausa language. Villagers say about 72 of the 110 girls have been returned. In 2014, the group abducted 276 schoolgirls from Chibok, and about 100 of them have never returned to their families. Since its very beginning, Israel has faced extermination from its enemies. So the Jewish state has fought back in a number of ways, including through the controversial use of assassinations. As Chris Mitchell reports from Jerusalem, for the first time, we're learning why this deadly technique plays such a part in Israel's history.
In 1983, 241 Americans died in the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut, Lebanon. Israel's assassination of Imad Muniyeh, the mastermind behind that bombing, is one reason why many consider Israel's intelligence services the best in the world. A new book tells why. The book is called Rise and Kill First: The Secret History of Israel's Targeted Assassinations. Award-winning journalist Ronit Bergman told CBN News the title comes from an ancient Jewish writing he heard quoted by members of Israel's intelligence services.
They used the phrase from the Babylonian Talmud, which says, if someone comes to kill you, rise up and kill him first. The mindset which says, when every decade your prime nemesis, your chief adversary, your main enemy, declares publicly that its main goal is to destroy Israel, then there's no other choice but rise up and kill him first.
Since its founding, that's been the public goal of Israel's enemies, from Saddam Hussein to Yasser Arafat to Iran's Mahmoud Ahmadinejad.
All of these, when they are your enemies, you would do whatever you can to defend your country and your people.
Bergman says after the Holocaust, Jews followed three lessons that permeate Israel's intelligence services.
First is that there will always be a Gentile who is after us to kill us. Second, all or most of the other Gentiles will not help, so we can rely only on ourselves. And third is that we need to have a safe haven, a refuge, a country of our own to defend it, and to defend it with all means possible.
In his book, Bergman explains the secret that makes Israel's intelligence the best in the world.
But there's one extra thought, and that thought is that they are the guards on the wall. They are, if borrowing a phrase from Star Trek, they are the final frontier, guarding the safety of the country and the security of the citizens of Israel and Jews worldwide, not just in Israel. They believe that if they don't work today with everything they have, then tomorrow Jews are going to be killed.
Bergman's book takes readers through how Mossad chief Meir Dagan urged Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and then Defense Minister Ehud Barak to use assassinations and cyber warfare against Iran instead of bombing its nuclear facilities. He also describes the elimination of Hezbollah commander Imad Muniyeh, the most wanted terrorist in the world, and how Yasser Arafat escaped dozens of assassination attempts. We asked about the dilemma of targeted killings.
There are two questions that are relevant. Is it effective, and is it legally and morally justified?
In describing an effective example, he pointed to the Second Intifada, when Palestinian suicide bombings killed and maimed thousands of Israelis. Bergman says Israel didn't go after the bombers, but their leaders.
But when Israel started to kill all the layer, the hierarchy above them, the bomb makers, the indoctrinators, the recruiters, the drivers, the regional command, the military command, the political leaders, then these people, those who were not yet killed, who had no problem with sending other people to their death, well, they had another thought. They did not want to check by themselves if the option of the 72 virgin is true or not.
After 9/11, the rules changed, and the U.S. began targeted killings with help from Israel's intelligence expertise. Now many Western nations also follow the Israeli model. Targeted killings remain an intense debate, and only Israel's prime minister can approve them. Yet with all its success, Bergman quotes one ex-Mossad chief who summed up their dilemma.
At the core of what we did every day in Mossad was that dilemma of what does a democracy under grave threats allow itself to take and do to defend its citizens, while it knows that it's unfortunately might violate other values.
Bergman's book took 8 years to write and includes more than 1,000 interviews. On the eve of Israel's 70th anniversary, Bergman, the son of 2 Holocaust survivors, sees it as a contribution to the ongoing remarkable story.
Sometimes I walk in the streets of Israel and I say, this is really a miracle. I think what was achieved here during the last 110 years, since the early 20th century, cannot be described as nothing but a miracle. And I'm so happy to be part of that.
Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Still ahead, chronic diseases, and you are putting it in your body whether you know it or not. Hear how you can break your sugar addiction and restore your health. Next. Welcome back. If you made it your goal to be healthier in 2018, one doctor says there's one thing you can do to turn things around with your health. As CBN News medical reporter Lori Johnson reports, there's growing evidence that consuming lots of sugar is deadly and addictive, and giving it up can change your quality of life for years to come.
When we think of addiction, we tend to focus on drugs and alcohol. But more doctors say we should also consider sugar.
Sugar is the source of all chronic disease. It's one of the biggest contributors. And we know that solid tumors, cancers, feed on sugar.
Dr. Vincent Pedre is one of a growing number of physicians warning consuming too much sugar not only fuels cancer, but also heart disease and Alzheimer's.
And let me clarify that, because when I say consuming too much sugar, people think, well, I don't eat dessert, so I don't have a lot of sugar. But then they're eating bread, rice, pasta, or scones. They're not thinking of that as sugar. But sugar comes from all of these sources. We break down the carbohydrates and they become sugar.
An estimated 3/4 of Americans are addicted to sugar and don't know it. But food manufacturers do. They add sugar to nearly everything, including things that might not seem sweet, like crackers and yogurt, to keep customers coming back for more. Most people might be shocked to discover they consume 100 times more sugar than their ancestors did back in the 1800s. And that's at the root of their health issues.
Bloating, abdominal pain, but also sinus congestion, mental fog, memory issues, fatigue, achiness, joint pains. These are all symptoms of consuming too much sugar in all of its forms. But people don't connect the two.
Scientists use lab animals to prove sugar is even more addictive than illicit drugs.
So sugar stimulates the same parts of the brain as cocaine. So I tell people that sugar is cocaine for your brain. And by that I mean it affects the dopamine pathways. And dopamine is the neurotransmitter that makes you feel good, that things are great.
A little is never enough.
Because that's the design of the neural circuit in the brain. It's going to want more hits. And it keeps wanting more and more because it becomes desensitized to small amounts.
That's why he recommends quitting sweets cold turkey.
The craving is not going to last longer than 10 to 20 minutes. So if you don't give in to the craving initially, eventually it's going to pass because your body is going to realize that it doesn't really need that for survival.
Or at least substituting whole fruit.
Now, the chocolate chip cookie is going to be a much faster hit for the brain. So you get that quicker satisfaction. If you have a fruit, let's say an orange or some berries, you need to give it a little more time. The feedback is going to happen. It's just going to take a couple of minutes.
When it comes to sugar substitutes, while whole fruit is okay, avoid artificial sweeteners because research shows they're actually worse than the real thing. In his book, Happy Gut, Dr. Pedre explains that artificial sweeteners harm our immune system by disrupting the bacteria in our digestive tract.
It reduces a type of bacteria that tends to be found in lean, healthy people, and it increases another type of bacteria in this genus called Bacteroidetes that is found in people that are obese.
Studies show people who regularly use artificial sweeteners gain more weight. Their ingredients trigger insulin resistance.
If you're becoming deaf and you have to turn the volume up higher, your body is becoming deaf to the signal, the insulin signal. So your body jacks up the insulin. But if insulin is high, what happens is it tells your body, it turns on genes that say, store fat.
The good news? Intermittent fasting can often reverse insulin issues. That means, for instance, going without food for 12 hours.
The idea behind intermittent fasting is that when you're not eating, you're allowing your insulin levels to drop. You're allowing insulin receptors to reset. So then what's happening towards the end of the fast is you're increasing insulin sensitivity. So you're making your body insulin sensitive again.
Intermittent fasting also repairs our cells and turns on longevity genes. So it might not be easy, but giving up sweets in their many forms, including artificial sweeteners, could pay off big time. Lori Johnson, CBN News.
And lots of advice there from Lori Johnson. We'll be right back with more of CBN NewsWatch. Stay with us. Operation Blessing is helping business owners in Haiti after a devastating fire tore through one of the largest marketplaces. Nearly 500 people lost their business in the Iron Market fire in Port-au-Prince, which thrives on tourism. Operation Blessing stepped in and selected 20 beneficiaries to help restart their business. The recipients are mostly single mothers who rely on their businesses to provide for their children. Operation Blessing purchased new inventory for the vendors, including fruits, vegetables, spices, and tablecloths. And you can find more of our exclusive coverage of the issues you care most about at cbnnews.com. Hope you'll join us next time.